The Fall of the House of Usher is going to be on Netflix in October, and this is a pretty early review of the show, which is why it's going to be spoiler free as hell. I don't want to give you guys any details. I don't want to give anything away that could potentially ruin anything. And so without further ado, let's talk about this show. As you can probably guess from the title, this is about a family that's going through a bit of a hard time, and that hard time being they're all dying. And there seems to be no real rhyme or reason as to how all of this is happening, but the bodies are piling up and people are trying to find answers and figure out what the hell is going on as matters are getting more and more serious. And that's all I can actually say about the show. There seems to be nothing more that I can talk about because everything is going to give you details. And I don't want too many details to be given away, not in this review. This show comes to us from Flanagan, who has already proven himself to be one of the best voices in the horror genre currently. He has done some impeccable work with his films and TV at the moment, and I would say some of them rank among the best on that specific scale. Like The Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass. These are some of the best things that Netflix has ever had in their entire time. And so it comes as absolutely no surprise to report that once again he has done it. He has done a great job. If this is his final show at Netflix, which it seems to be reported it will be, they have lost something really, really special with this man. This guy has done so well when it comes to his projects, and he continues to. And The Fall of the House of Usher is so intricately done. It's honestly amazing how well it's constructed. It's also one of the toughest shows because you have to understand there's a lot going on over here. There are so many moving parts that it can get very, very difficult to really make all of those things work. But the direction, the writing on display over here is doing such a great job that I don't think it misses a single detail. By the time you're done with the series, practically everything you want out of it answered does get answered. You get all of your things resolved. And it's genuinely amazing, even in the episodes themselves, how it manages to make every single base get covered in the most logical and in the most comprehensive way possible. It's amazing. Like, sometimes you just see good TV like this and you just have to take a seat back and go, wow, that happened. We saw that. This is something that exists. And you just have to thank, the fact that it exists. Call me hyperbolic, if you will. But I've been a fan of this guy's horror for years now. And I think that when horror is good, it has the capability of being truly something special. And this is one of those examples where it's just something truly special. This is not early hype talking. This is not the idea of an early review giving you that buzz kind of thing. This is genuinely from the heart. I'm telling you, this show is awesome. And I can't wait for more people to see it. Also, the cast in this, amazing. Everybody's doing a really, really great job, but the two standouts for me were Carla Gugino and Bruce Greenwood. They are both doing so good here that I actually feel bad that they're not in more stuff sometimes. Like, how is it possible that we're doing so much with genres these days and we're not seeing at least Carla Gugino in every single project right now? Every single time actors like this get the scripts that they deserve and they can really play around with their characters, they're able to do some stuff that is genuinely remarkable. And this is another case of that because both of them have such brilliantly done scenes in this. And I genuinely was riveted every single time that they were on screen. But not to be discounted are pretty much all of the other supporting characters, all the other kids who will come under the House of Usher, played by actors like Kate Siegel, Rahul Kohli, Tanaya Miller. All of them are fantastic in this. And also, Mark Hamill, who plays the family attorney Arthur Pym, this guy, awesome. Like, his performance in this, really great. I would honestly dare say this is one of Hamill's best performances in years. He's so good in this. I genuinely loved every moment with him as well. This is something that I feel like is expected from a Mike Flanagan show at this point, or even a movie. The performances, they never cease to amaze. Every single time you get something genuinely special. But you're here to also talk about the horror aspect of the show because you want to know how scary it is or how gruesome it is. The show is, yeah, it's gruesome, of course. The people who are dying constantly, you are going to get a lot of really creepy moments in here. And you do, absolutely. The show does not fail to deliver on those. There is also a very good quality to them in that you don't necessarily see them coming all the time. Like, there is a pattern, and you'll see that as the episodes go on. Like, you know how certain things are gonna, be structured. which I guess might be an issue for some people, because then you can be like, okay, if the episode starts in this way, then you're gonna see it play out like in this, and then eventually you're gonna get to this. But it's not so much about the structure, it's about how that structure is used and how it manages to still be as effective as it is, because it makes every single decision as unique as possible and also as unexpected as possible. Because even though you know at certain points, like, here's something that's gonna happen, it still finds a way to catch you off guard, especially when it comes to sometimes scale. Like, there's a moment which I can't really go into, but there's a certain sequence which you get the hint of how it's gonna play out very early on. And as that sequence is about to commence, you're like, okay, so just timing it, you know what's coming. But even then, when that happens, it's one of those things where you see what's going down, and the way that entire sequence plays out, especially when it comes to the square space area of it, it's amazing. And it's genuinely shocking stuff as to like how much they're able to do with that. Again, it sounds so incredibly vague because I don't want to, give you guys too many details. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys, and I want you guys to enjoy that in the best way possible. As you know, this is also taking in a lot of Edgar Allan Poe's works into effect. Again, I can't really say too much about that because I don't want to. But as you probably expect, there's some iconic stuff in here. But the way it sort of manages to make all of those connect with the modern world that the show is taking place in, I would say is very effective. And I would say that it's in a way that's very grounded and manages to make the most realistic sense with the story that it's telling. And this is such a vague review. There's so much I can't say because I don't want to say anything. And honestly, I would save some stuff for a spoiler-filled review down the line. But right now I am having to sort of tiptoe around my words. It's wonderfully shot. It looks incredible. Certain sequences, especially when it comes to the, vibrancy of colors involved, look genuinely outstanding. And even low light sequences, like there's points where you'll cut to a conversation happening in front of a fireplace. All of that stuff, awesome. It's just genuinely great. And again, great use of the production design and the sets and the way certain shots are composed. It's such a meticulously crafted show. I can't stop talking about it. It's genuinely amazing. The score, beautifully done. I believe this is also the same composers who did all the other stuff from Mike Flanagan. I'm assuming it is, because it sounds very familiar, like it's the next logical step. Genuinely really, really great stuff. There is an emotional connect that you get with every single character as things are going on, but I will say that sometimes you might not get the emotional connect with it that you want. Sometimes you might think, okay, well, I don't like this character. So if something were to happen to this character, I would think, well, do I want to feel bad, or will I actually be like, oh, well, I mean, there is a very interesting way the show plays those out, though. It's a very interesting double-edged sword that is placed in front of you. And sometimes you will have to deal with characters who are not the most morally, good. Let's just put it that way. But again, thanks to the way it's cleverly crafted, it manages to make sure that the effect that it's going for comes forward in the best way possible. That doesn't mean that you won't get emotionally affecting moments, though. You do. You definitely get those as well. And there are moments where the show will take you to a certain point and you see an event play out and you're seeing the characters involved in it and you're thinking, well, I understand, I have sympathy for the situation that's over here, and eventually you do have that emotional surge. It especially comes to hit as certain episodes go on, because it's sort of like a take stock moment where it may feel like something that's fleeting, but then as you're sort of processing what's going on, you're sort of going, okay, it's starting to hit now. And you're sort of going through that with the characters who are there as well. It's like, it certainly starts to hit the reality of certain things. And I think it handles that in a very effective manner. All in all, again, sorry about how vague this video is. I loved The Fall of the House of Usher. I think Mike Flanagan has once again done it. I cannot wait to see what else he does after this. And I say that every single time I review one of his things. But really, if you keep making things as unique as this, we're in for great days with horror yet. I mean, there is so much more that is yet to come in this genre that is going to surprise, that is going to amaze. And I have to see where that goes. I mean, the possibilities are genuinely endless, especially when you have things like this. And so without further ado, I'm gonna give The Fall of the House of Usher an A+. Genuinely no major flaw. I would rank this among The Haunting of Hill House and Midnight Masses among the best shows. Like, this is up there, top 3 Flanagan by far. Those two were A+ too. This is the third one. Congratulations. You have earned it, Mr. Flanagan. Do what you gotta do best, man. I can't wait to see what your next project is. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. Let me know what you guys think of The Fall of the House of Usher when it does drop on Netflix. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe. Thank you very much once again. And wishing you all a very happy streaming.